Hey YouTube, this is a 1999 Fender Mexican Telecaster, not sure what the model is, known as the Purple Telly. Technically I found out that the actual colour is midnight blue, but it's purple, depends what light shines on it. If it was like one DuPont colour towards like pink or towards the red spec, it would be Cadbury's Dairy Milk colour, and if it was one more towards blue, it would maybe be blue. It's kind of in the mid. It's, yeah. Anyway, so we've got basically all original. Well, all I did was just clean this up. One piece maple neck. Fender bracketed the sort of box tuners that era. Skunk stripe needs to be there because that's where the truss rod goes in. 6 saddles, so kind of like a modern one. Neck. Both pickups. Bridge pickup. Yeah, so I'd already said this is my favourite Telecaster of all I've ever got, and that's including mine. So this is the first. It's maybe the first telly I ever played. This belongs to my pal Peg. Before I was in a band with him, but he was in a band with some of my pals, and I used to know him when I used to be Cubs or Scouts before this, 10 years before. One of those folk you always said hello to when you saw him in the street, but never actually talked to him again since you were a kid. And he was in a band with some of my pals, and then we were in McCormick's, and I was going in, and he was coming out, and he was like, I was just playing a Telecaster there, I was thinking of painting it up. He was like, that was a cool purple one, and I was like, I'd just buy it. Because I just bought that red SG. I was like, it's fucking great, having a brilliant guitar. So that's this guitar. And I remember going into a band, G-Rock, which was just drinking Bucky in the studio, having a laugh, playing instruments, and he came in and he brought his old Yamaha, and I brought my good Gibson, and he was like, I brought a good guitar. So the second week he turned up with the Purple Telly. So there's a wee bit of history between the Purple Telly and that SG, as in this telly and that SG, but much more than that. After that I was in a band with Peg where I was playing the bass, that bass called the Blind Doug, and this was a guitar he used to a Marshall stack, and I don't think it possibly been cleaned since then. It was pretty damn grotty, but I did not like this guitar. I always thought it looked cool as fuck, and I loved the sound of it when I wasn't playing it, but I hated playing it until one night when I got we were having a jam and I was stuck on it. I don't know whatever happened to it. So I had to play it, and it sort of started making a bit of sense. And then I remember going into McCormick's after that. This is a couple of years, maybe a year after I'd been in the band with Peg playing it, and I had a shot of a Jeff Beck Telecaster, which was about £1,000, and it was really good. And it's like, oh, it's not just this guitar, it's Telecasters in general. And then a couple of months later I found the Schecter Telly that matched the bass. Aye. But somebody, I don't think I've ever set this up before, but it's set up absolutely perfectly. I know Peg hasn't done it. It was manky, so it's amazing. It's totally set up like that Jelly Bean Strat. It's like by the book type stuff. It's great. I did dress the frets and stuff like that, but it just goes to show that, see, I've got lots of them. See these guitars that are 10 years old, or maybe even not that, and they're all beat up from, that's just arseholes. Because this guitar here, it's in I don't know, would you say player's grade? But it's got no dents or bashes or bits where someone's thought it was cool to hit it with a screwdriver or sand a bit off it. None of that shite. Or it's basically still stock. And it's lovely. And this is what a 25-year-old guitar should look like. a 25-year-old guitar it's a Fender, so it's probably worth more now than it was when it was new, but it's like it's been looked after. It's been a coveted thing. It's never had that crap guitar. It's not. I mean, okay, it needed strings and stuff like that. It needed a clean, but it's never sat like in a cupboard with stuff leaning against it, not in a case or anything like that, because it's a Fender Telecaster. Done a lot of gigs with this as well, or a lot of gigs listening to this, not so much playing it, never playing it. I was playing that. Maybe not in tune anymore. And it was a Bucky stain definitely in below it. I just took it. I didn't give it the full. It's like the different. Basically, I didn't. So I've not really done it for a setup. It was really just more for a clean. It does have a slightly shit jack socket. I might just put another one in it. It's a bit temperamental. I thought it's not too bad. And Peg was always wanting a humbucker put in this. And I suggested I've got a 4-way switch. And I was like, I'll do a 4-way switch and I can knock it so you get the humbucker sound. I don't think it needs it. I don't think it should have it. I think this has done it did the Blind Doug and it did all that perfectly acceptably, the way a Telecaster should. It's a fucking Telecaster. Don't be turning it into not a Telecaster. Okay, it doesn't have the 3-saddle bridge, but I mean, hey, there's a reason there's these 3 pickups in this order. But this guitar has a distinctive sound. As soon as a wee tear came to my eye when I first stuck the rat pedal on and blasted some chords on it, I was like, it totally sounds like Peg's guitar. And I've got Telecasters, I've got several, but none of them sound quite like this one. This one is what I think of, just because it's the one I've heard most. I mean, how many gigs did we do? 20 or something like that I've heard this guitar, this very guitar. So it does have a unique. No wonder it sounded. Well, it's not in tune anymore. But no wonder it sounded so good. It fucking plays amazing. It's an amazing guitar. I really lucked out on it. There's a really good friend that told him just to buy, or future friend to just buy the guitar. Sod it. Worry about it later. Pay it up. I do it. He was a culprit. But it's amazing how well it cleaned up. Really noticed to see the. Okay, just get a new jack socket tomorrow or tonight. Freaking bastard jack sockets. That's just a repair thing, man. But see these knobs, right? They were pure black, green, and horrible. Toothbrush and isopropyl alcohol, and they just shine up. They look like brand new knobs. And see this metal plate? It's a tinky metal plate. It's really thin and shit. Honestly, see the ones you get in Temu, the ones that have been fitting to all those J-Packs, all sorts caster things. Better than that. That's pure thin. It's pure, obviously I've left it in because it's going rusty and all that, and it's proper. Unless it's a replacement for some reason. I know Peg bought the guitar brand new, but it's a really thin shit piece of metal compared to even just like a modern Chinese one. Bridge is good though. Bridge is nice and thick, and 6 saddle as well, which to be honest I didn't know that. But it's a lovely neck. It's brilliant. I'm not sure this was always a gloss neck. I think this was that sort of not powdery but satin feel, and I think just years of, I mean, this guitar, I say the guitar's been looked after. This has been at all those gigs. This was in the Doug House, the place we used to rent out as a rehearsal studio. It was like right with gutters I put gutters inside it because the rain came in the roof. We went down there till 6 in the morning drinking, and then getting walked up the road in a gig bag and a bit on my back. Same as it's basically everything that bass did, because pretty much for the whole band, apart from one gig where Peg broke a string on this and had to play a 335 from the sport band, and one gig where I had to play Music Master because the battery failed in that and I didn't even know it had a battery in it. That was about it, I think. Every other Blind Doug thing we did was with this guitar and that bass and keyboard and a drummer. Rocking. So, and there is a point where a guitar gets to where it's a real guitar, and this one, although there is a lot of sentimental value in it. I mean, technically, my Schecter one's probably a better guitar, and that one possibly all these things, but it gets to the point of it's such a small percentage in it. This is a proper, solid, everything on it's just right, and it's a Telecaster, so it's simple, and that's what a Telecaster's meant to be. It's the ultimate telly. And like I said at the start, well, it was a bit clickbaity, but my favourite telly. And the thing is, it's sick as well. I mean, I was thinking that a wee bit about my Red SG, thinking that's now a vintage guitar. It was, it was only a few years old when I bought it, and it's vintage. Well, I already had that guitar, and I was there when Peg signed up on this one when it was brand new, and that was 26 years ago. So this is unarguably vintage also. But you can look after these things, and it's survived this far without me sawing it up, putting a humbucker in it. So I think it should stay the way it is. So also I think it's got an alpha pot as the volume control. But these are things that this guitar, I don't want to change the sound of it. I like listening to it. So when Peg's doing recordings in the future, I recognise the guitar sound. Rock on.